Okay, so this video is going to show you how to make, I'm going to put an image over here, how to make one of these plant holders. And you will be using slabs, which are these here, and you will be using the slab roller to create your slabs. If you don't remember how to do that, you will reference the video that's in Google Classroom, okay? But we're gonna make these plant holders with all of the texture on them. It's just gonna be a mini project for us building up for our next one. But you will actually get a plant at the end that you'll get to put in it and take it home, okay? So before we begin, what you need to do is you need to come up with a design and kind of start thinking about what kind of texture you will want to put on your slab, okay? So when you are creating your holder, you are going to get a template, okay? And your piece can be no larger than this size, okay? It can be smaller if you want it to, but not that much smaller, okay? Because otherwise the plant might not actually fit in it, okay? So when you get your paper, you need to pick your shape, okay? So here is a couple different ideas that I was playing with. So it doesn't need to be a geometric shape. It can be. I would recommend really thinking about what you want your shape to be, okay? So here I'm just going to do a triangle shape. I should probably use a ruler for this, but I don't have one by me. Okay, so notice that I've filled up the space pretty well here, okay? And then just take that, cut it out, okay? Now get creative with it. You can use a variety of things for your shapes. I'm just taking the easy way out right now. All right, so then the next step that you are going to be doing, you have to first prepare your slab. So you'll notice that these slabs kind of have some textures on it and it's a little bit bumpy. So what you'll want to do, both sides, get your clay box of materials, take one of these smooth ribs, and you're going to use this to smooth out your clay. So back and forth, side to side. And I would recommend doing both sides. So one side looks a little bit smoother, where the other side has a little bit more of a texture from that mat. Okay, so smooth both those sides out. All right, and for you might do two like this to practice, and then you're only going to keep one. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to figure out what kind of texture we're going to put on our clay piece, okay? So you can use some of those clay tools that you've made. So I'm just going to experiment on here a little bit so you can see that that's kind of creating a cool design. I have a bunch of these wooden roller texture tools that you can test out. So like here, you just press and roll, and that can create quite a cool texture. So you could even use a combination. Maybe you like the pattern of these stamps next to the rolled ones. That's awesome. You can even like combine them together. I want you to experiment with it, okay? If you don't like anything, all you have to do is re-roll out the slab, or just take that smooth rib and then you can smooth over anything, okay? You can also use found objects like markers and I don't know, anything to create some textures, okay? Lots of different ideas. You can also like hand draw them. So there's these loop tools that you can use to carve out designs to create texture, okay? So experiment. Another thing that you can use, here's another big roller, but another thing that you can use is we can use stencils, and stencils are pretty cool because you can just put it down on the area, then take a marker, and we're going to use that as like a mini rolling pin, and just gently roll over top. You don't have to press very hard. Oops, I might kind of. Okay, and then when we peel it off, it reveals that texture. Now, some of those areas I actually didn't press hard enough on it, so I'm going to redo that one. So I'm just going to smooth it out. But the main goal of this is we want lots of texture. Okay, so this time I'm going to press just a little bit harder than what I did. And you will see that clay come up a little bit. Okay, this one should be better. All right, there we go. So now we have that nice texture there, okay? So once you've decided on what your final one is, take your good slab and let's create that texture on there, okay? I'm just gonna keep it easy for this example to make it go quicker. And I am just gonna use this roller, rolling all the way through, okay? All right, so then I'm going to take my shape, and it didn't quite get over on this part because this area was a little bit thinner, okay, but this is just an example piece here. So then what you will do is you'll place your stencil on top, grab one of your needle tools from your clay box, and you are just going to carefully trace around, okay? Peel up all of that extra, and then what you will want to do, make sure to pick it up so it's not smushed. We don't want to change the shape of this anymore, but what you want to do is lightly smooth out those edges, and you can also do that by getting your sponge wet and going along the edges, okay? So this will be where we stop for part 1. And part 2 will be in the next video.